I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will you join me in prayer, please? Supreme Architect of the universe, we invoke thy blessing at this time. May this meeting thus be conducted in peace and closed in harmony. Amen. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Thursday, April 10th, 2014 public business meeting of the Allegany County Commissioners. Commissioners, are there any additions or deletions to our agenda?
No, sir.
No, sir.
I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes of our April 3rd, 2014 public business meeting.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Valentine. Whoop, I got confused. Did you move?
I did.
Or did you second?
I'm still here, but I moved.
It's been moved by Commissioner Brody, seconded by Commissioner Valentine. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's jump right to presentations, gentlemen. Item number 1 is the Maryland Public Secondary School Athletic Association 2014 Wrestling Championship. Champion 1A-2A, 152 pounds. I haven't seen that in years. But anyhow, Mr. Davis,
yes, sir.
Would you come and share to the podium why are we here tonight for this presentation?
Well, before he begins, Mike, since you were so brave to challenge the girls' volleyball team to a volleyball game, I've set up a wrestling match for you here tonight. So take your coat off and go down front against these guys.
And before this starts, I am taking bets on this.
Remember, I'll take down position.
Uh-oh.
You'll never get back.
He's done. He's done.
All you got to do is wait 5 minutes. He'll be out of
Adam, we're begging you. Just stay in your chair.
Better make sure furlough's available.
Well, I've got a frequent flyer card deal, so that'll work.
All right.
You're going to miss
Before I start, I'd like to thank the county commissioners. We've had several celebration assemblies, recognition assemblies at school, and you guys have been at every one, and we really appreciate your support. Mr. Eberly, you also. So thank you very much for your support. We're hoping to have you back real soon. As far as Adam's concerned, his wrestling accolades speak for themselves. He was a state champion as a freshman, was a runner-up as a sophomore, state champion again this year at the 152-pound class. I used to coach wrestling, and we were pretty successful at it. I've never seen a kid that has worked so hard at a sport. He's been wrestling forever. His parents have taken him everywhere. They're just as dedicated to this as he is. He's already wrestled in 2 major national tournaments since the state wrestling tournament. In Virginia, he finished 6th in the nation in a national tournament. And in the flow tournament, he finished 5th. Not only is he a fantastic wrestler, he's a fantastic kid. He's got a 3.81 GPA, member of the National Honor Society. So all I can tell you is this is not only a great wrestler, he's a great kid, and he deserves every recognition he gets.
Well, wonderful, wonderful. All right. Well, Adam, would you like to join us up here, sir, for this citation, please?
Well, I'm up here in the center. And this is the place to wrestle him because he can't run near as far.
Unless there's a buffet line.
Pinfall in 15 seconds.
All right, gentlemen, it is my esteemed honor, Adam, to present you with this citation. Allegany County Government Official Citation. Adam Mark, State Champion, 44-0 season record, Maryland State Wrestling Championship, 2014, 1A, 2A, 152 pounds. Maryland Public Secondary Schools Athletic Association, University of Maryland Coalfield House, March 8th, 2014. Congratulations. It has the great seal of Allegany County affixed. Let's give this young man a round of applause. Dad, you want to come up here? We'll get a picture with you as well, please.
Let's get one pen mic right
Wow.
I would do that.
Come on, in on each side of it.
Technology.
Talk. Come on.
Yes, ma'am.
She's going to take
Come on.
some
Oh,
of
okay,
yours too.
great. Okay, thank you.
Oh, you have a
Okay,
big
sorry,
one.
sorry.
Yeah, I don't know how to operate this.
Her camera will ring.
What?
Says your camera will ring during the picture.
Well, surely.
Here comes the cavalry.
Okay.
I think I did.
Yeah, I think you probably did it. I had one.
Oh, okay. I hope I didn't
Yeah.
break that.
You did.
They make others. Right there. One more. There you go.
Perfect. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you. A lot of hard work.
Oh, absolutely.
Blood, sweat, and tears, right?
Camera in my hand, baby. I'll take anything.
Thank you.
Oh, that's a shame. I was just going to have him wrestle me for the gavel, and he just.
You can arm wrestle?
I know that I couldn't win at that. I don't even think I do.
You're right.
I resemble that remark. All right. Commissioners, item number 2 under our action agenda. This is resolution 14-9, the adoption of the 2013 amendments to the 2011 Allegheny County Water and Sewage Plan. Mr. DeWitt.
Evening.
Evening, sir.
Appreciate the chance to be up here this evening. I've got a few items for you tonight. The first one, as you mentioned, is for the water and sewerage plan. This is the final step in adopting the 2013 amendments to the 2011 plan. As I mentioned last week, they're labeled as the 2013 amendments, despite the fact that we are well into 2014 because most of the work was done last fall. As I also stated last week, a full plan revision will be done later this year in the fall, and we'll have much more public involvement at that time. 2013 amendments were presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission on February 26th and again on March 26th of this year. In accordance with COMAR for the water and sewer plan, we had a public hearing advertised and held last week, April 3rd. We received some questions from the Maryland Department of Planning, provided them answers, nothing that required any changes to be made to the plan. So no revisions had to be made since last week. The approved and the amended plan will be made available on the county website as soon as possible. And the request tonight's for passage of Resolution 14-9 to incorporate 2013 amendments into the 2011 Allegheny County Water and Sewerage Plan.
Commissioners, any questions? No?
No, sir.
I'd like to move that we accept adopt Resolution 14-9. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner McKay, seconded by Commissioner Valentine. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Dan, can you tell me a little bit about item number 3, the Braddock Run Sewer Rehab Phase 2?
Absolutely. Allegheny County, as you know, from time to time has been explained in these settings, is under consent order from Maryland Department of the Environment to make repairs to reduce the frequency, the number of times that our sewer system overflows into local waters. So the goal of the projects we do in those instances is to reduce infiltration and inflow, meaning illicit sources of water getting into our system, into the county sewer system. So due to defects in these existing pipes and manholes, mainly because they're very old and haven't been replaced before, going on about 40 or 50 years depending on the location, we get large volumes of rainwater and groundwater getting into the sewer system during wet weather events when it's raining a lot, basically. The system is not designed to handle those flows, and as a result, the sewer system overflows into our local waters. So by repairing the cracks and the separations in the pipes, either with new pipes or with just some patch repairs, we can keep the rainwater and groundwater out and be more likely to keep it out of the sewer system and keep ourselves from overflowing. So this project is the second phase of a multi-phase effort to rehabilitate and repair the Braddock Run system. The project will focus on repairs to sewers in Grahamtown, Eckert, Consall, and other areas surrounding Frostburg. Funding for this phase comes from the Department of the Environment through a package where we receive 7/8 of the project cost in loan forgiveness, meaning we pay it back, and the remaining 12.5% comes as a loan from MDE paid back by the users of the sanitary district for Braddock Run. We advertised this project beginning February 23rd, had a pre-bid conference here in this room on March 11th, and we opened bids on March 25th. We received only one bid from Carl Belt for approximately $1.3 million. We reviewed the bid package closely and determined that even though we only had one bid, it was responsive and reasonable compared to prices we received for other similar work in other areas of the county. The project is currently funded for $1 million total cost. We've learned from MDE that they do have additional funding available at that same ratio, which is about as good as we can get for this type of work. So we are hoping to move forward to capture all the funding we need for the construction as well as the non-construction costs with our inspection and contingency. With favorable award this evening, this project could begin later this spring and wrap up near the end of this calendar year. We have two more projects currently being developed for the Braddock Run District. Phase 3 deals with repairs to the main interceptor sewers in Grahamtown and along Sand Spring Run. Its plan for advertisement and construction is this year as well. Phase 4, currently under development, deals with improvements to the Wrights Crossing pump station, which handles basically almost all of the flow coming out of Frostburg and the surrounding areas, and then takes it up past Sheets and then flows down through Eckerd all the way to Cumberland. That phase currently under development. Like I said, details for both of those phases are still being finalized, and we'll discuss them more in the future. For your information, we did hold a public meeting at Mountain Ridge High School on March 4th. We didn't have anybody in attendance at that time. If we have future public meetings, we'll try to advertise them again and make sure everybody's well aware of what's going on. If there's any additional questions, you can call me in the Public Works office, and I'll be happy to talk with you about the project. So in conclusion, all we're asking for tonight is authorization to award Phase 2 of this project to Carl Belt in the amount of $1,286,146.25.
Commissioners, any questions? None. I'd like to entertain a motion to accept the bid award for the Phase 2 collector sewer repairs. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Valentine, or moved by Commissioner Brody, and seconded by Commissioner Valentine. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thanks, sir. Good work.
Hey, Commissioners, just as an FYI, Dan is on baby watch, and he does not have to stay for the rest of the meeting if he does not want to. So Mommy and baby number 3 are on the way, and best of luck to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes.
Thank you. 9 can be the goal.
Jason is going after that record, sir.
Alrighty then. Item number 4, Safety Range Development Project. Mr. Eberly.
Commissioners, our presentation here last week, as Steve Young and Bobby Dick had laid out for us, provided you with an opportunity to see an internal project that we have been considering for quite some time now, and it's a project that we're hoping to classify as a self-help project and to do the vast majority of the work ourselves. I see we do have one individual who signed up tonight. And Dan, you would like to talk about this now, Commissioner?
We could for a second.
Okay.
Certainly, please. As Dan does come to the podium, please state your name and address for the record, if you would, please.
Dan Williams, Mount Savage. Gentlemen, I'd just like to say a word or two in response for our organization and a lot of the other groups around town, since we've heard about this, in favor of this project. As Chief Dick said at the last meeting, there would be times that other groups or individuals could use that range along with the police officers. We have a number of hunter safety instructors in the county who teach classes for the kids all the time. And there are times that the weather gets rather inclement and they can't get into the range up at Frostburg to use, which this would give a backup, and Bobby would know way ahead of time when these things were going on. Also, we have a retired state police officer now, Rick Civic, who is teaching the class that our governor said you had to have in order to purchase a firearm now. And he is teaching it also at ACC for the college. He was to be here today with me, but right now he is at Garrett Community College signing off on the fact that he's going to be teaching it up there also. Well, there may come time when he's doing this for the college that they would need a place to just, when you're done the class, you have to do an actual live fire, that they could, as well as you guys work back and forth with the college on everything else that goes on, they would be able to let Bobby know way ahead of time when they would be there to use it, and if for some reason they couldn't use one of our ranges, this would be a backup for it. And I personally, and I've talked to people from both the other organizations, think this would be a great thing for not only for the police to use, but for the community for some of these classes to help the kids and help with this new law that Maryland says you have to have. Just a thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Commissioners, one other piece of information to put into the record. As we mentioned last week, the only unresolved issue we had was the installation cost of the fence. We were able to price that out, and our internal estimate gave us an estimate of $20 a linear foot for the fence that we were looking at. I think what we're going to do is secure $4,500 from the project out front, the Sheriff's Office building. We do have a small contingency fund that we feel safe that we can grab $4,500, and we'll be able to install somewhere between 25 and 30% of the fence that we hope to enclose at some point in time. Bobby is going to check with some of our partner agencies out and about, both public and private, to see if we can get some additional funding. But our goal over the years will be to try to have the entire compound enclosed behind a fence that's 8 feet high. So, Anything else, Chief Dick? All right.
Okay. Before we vote on this, I know that this has been a project of yours that you wanted to spearhead there, Commissioner Brody, from not day one of us getting into office, but pretty doggone.
Oh, I'm just tickled to death to see it get to this point, sir.
Yeah, so I appreciate the hard work that you put into it. Thank you very much, Chief, and thank other staff members if you would, sir. Okay. If there's any questions, we'll call for the question. I'd like to entertain a motion to authorize the county commissioners to have a safety range development project. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Valentine, seconded by Commissioner Brody. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anything on your desk, sir?
Nothing, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Rudd.
You're welcome.
Anything you'd like to share? We have a couple minutes.
That's all right.
Mr. Everly could yield the balance of his time to you, or no? Okay.
Quiet attorney.
I tell you. Commissioners. Commissioner Valentine.
Okay. Just real quick, Monday this week I had an opportunity to take part in a program doing mock interviews with students at the Career Center, and it's truly a great program. You know, a lot of the students learn a good trade out there, but it seems as though whenever they go to interview for a job, they really don't have the proper interview skills. And we were interviewing electrical students, and you can be the best electrician out there, but whenever you go for the interview, you got to suddenly become a salesman. You got to learn how to sell yourself to the future employer. So it's a great program. Basically, I'd like to see it expanded rather than only doing the interviews for the senior students. I think probably junior students be a good idea also. And then Tuesday, I spoke before a state and local government class out at ACM. Once again, this was a way of introducing students so they know more about how state and local governments work. Very well-informed class. They asked some really great questions, and there again, it was well worth my time that day.
Good. Commissioner Brody, any comments this evening?
I do, sir. We have a couple developers in the area that's trying to make some progress, and they need some help. I'm trying to figure out how to state this. 4 of the major projects that's happened in the area right now are in threat of being slowed down or shut down by our state highway. And it's not coming from our local office, so let me state that District 6 has been fantastic to work with. One of them out on Route 36 in Motor City is well underway, but kind of threat of holding the entrance permit up over some pristine trees that was removed from the site. Now, I've worked next to that site for the last 15 years. The only thing that was on it was sumac trees and concrete blocks and old tires. And I don't know where these pristine trees are coming from. And there's several other projects around the area that it's supposedly getting bogged down in traffic studies. So, sir, I need some help. Since you have a good working relationship with Secretary of Transportation Smith, I was wondering if you and Mr. Senator Edwards could have a conversation, because these are priority projects to Allegany County. You know, all 3 of us have set out to increase our tax base, which these are doing. And there's a lot of jobs at stake here. And I'm relaying a message from one of the developers in North Carolina that Allegany County has been fantastic to work with. The state has not. We need help.
I noticed just yesterday, I guess it was, they've got traffic study vehicles set up at the upper end of Winchester Road, and we know there's development plan for there, and they've got their traffic study vehicle set up there now.
So if we could make sure we get everybody on the same page here, because several of these are very significant. All of them is significant. You know, we've looked at every business that's come to Allegany County as significant. So, you know, and a little shout out to Vintage Rose down in Western Port. Me and Commissioner Valentine was down there Saturday morning at 9 o'clock for a ribbon cutting ceremony where they've increased their business, and it's, for anyone who gets a chance, go down and see it. It's very nice. It's kind of like a miniature Kirkland's.
Okay.
So,
well, Commissioners, what I will do is reach out to the Secretary and then also reach out to Senator Edwards' office and set up a meeting between the Secretary, the Senator, and myself. You know, the projects that happen in Allegany County, every single one is important.
Absolutely.
And we're not on the radar when it comes to big metropolitan areas. And so we need to make sure that anybody who wants to invest in Allegany County is given a green light and works within the regulations and cannot be held up by red tape. So I will get that taken care of. Dave, will you help me with that tomorrow?
Will do so.
And we'll report back to you all. The Secretary is very, very willing to meet and discuss these type of issues. And
he is
I have found him to be a very professional, delight man, and so I think we'll get some movement.
Good. I know he's a good guy, but I also know you have a good relationship with him.
So, yeah, we talked about the round of wreck in Allegany County. Allegany County's only amusement park that actually has worked out pretty well. My wife travels that 4 times a day, so that means 8 times a day she goes through that round of wreck.
It takes some practice.
And people are learning. They are learning. And actually, it is going to be a good thing when it ends up. It just takes some time. So, yes, sir.
On the same subject, I've got a friend out in Flintstone. He's been waiting a couple of years for. He submitted his plan to put in to us, opening to his business. He's still waiting. I mean, it's pathetic how long you have to wait if you've got a business and you put in to have an entrance
From State Highway.
from the state highway.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Would you have that gentleman give me a call, and I'll mention that project as well when I do meet with him.
Senator, I've already put Senator Edwards in touch with Justin and his part. They're
Okay.
well aware of that. That actually started almost 2 years ago.
Over 2 years.
And Senator Edwards is very aware of that project.
Well, I'll talk to Secretary Smith about that as
And
well.
on the other side, his dad put in the tap, and it took 5 years to get permission for that place. It's unbelievable. People have to go through to start a business. It's just, it don't make sense. People have the money and the time, they want to do something, but their hands don't.
Right. Okay. Thank you, sir. Please have them get in touch with me. Okay. Gentlemen, I'd like to remind everyone that our next public business meeting will be Thursday, April 17th, 2014 at 5 o'clock right here in room 100. I'd like to announce that the next public work session will be Thursday, April 17th as well, but at 3 o'clock in room 212. Please see the news release as for the fiscal year 2015 budget schedule, as well as the Allegheny County government schedule. I'd like to thank everyone for participating in your government, and we'll turn off the cameras before we have the wrestling match. Thank you.